we all come here this morning carrying things. I came carrying a colorful bag and a briefcase and an envelope with my sermon in it. Some of the things that we carry, like wallets and briefcases and coats, bags, they're visible. We can look around and we can see them. Many things that we are carrying, however, are not visible to the naked eye. There are things that we are hopeful about, things that we feel uncertain for. We have questions that we've been asking about parts of our lives that still don't make sense. However, you arrived here today, and with whatever you are holding, the empty tomb is where you should be. It's the beginning of new life. It's the beginning of the resurrection life. Because Easter is just not a story for long ago in what my husband used to say, the before time. Carl used to say that all the time. It's good news for you. And if you look left, right, behind, in front, for the person next to you, in front of you, behind you, the person in the car in front of you, the person at the grocery store who makes you mad because they got pennies they're counting at the cash register. Easter is for them. Easter tells us that what looks finished may not be finished. Like Mary showed up, she thought it was done, and it wasn't. Easter shows us that what feels lost might not at all be lost. It might not be gone. It shows us that new life is possible, even when we don't expect it. Because I'm certain Mary didn't expect that. In John's Gospel, Mary goes to the tomb and she expects death. She's got spices. She's going to go anoint Christ's body. She's grieving and certain, 100%, that this is over. And then she arrives and the tomb, it's empty. He's gone. And at first she doesn't understand what she's seeing. She thinks something has gone terribly wrong. Where have you laid my Lord? And if we're honest with ourselves, that's really how our faith is. It's where it begins and where it cycles back to all through our lives. Questions, wondering, uncertainty. So Mary stands there at the opening of the tomb, trying desperately to make sense of it. First asking the angels, then asking the supposed gardener, where is he? Where have you taken him? Nothing looks the way she expected. Everything feels unsettled. It is just wrong. And it's right there in the middle of that confusion that she hears Jesus say, Mary. And it changes everything for her. In that moment, Mary realizes that this is not the end of the story. Jesus is not gone. He is alive, standing in front of her, and he knows her. The really good news is that what's true for Mary is true for all of us. Jesus meets us right where we are and calls every one of us by our names. Easter is about God's love reaching us on a personal level. It's about grace that meets us before we sometimes have anything figured out. And it's good news for everyone, not just the people who feel that their faith is right on track, the ones who are most faithful, or the ones who we perceive as the most faithful. It's for everyone who has ever felt stuck, anyone who has ever felt uncertain, anyone who has ever felt like they could not possibly be enough to be loved by this God. The truth is, God is always working, bringing life out of death. Not always in little tiny ways. Sometimes in the deepest parts of our soul, God is at work bringing life from death. Life out of failures, life out of fears, life out of places where we've thrown our hands up and completely given up. The Easter message is a simple one. Jesus is alive. God's love is real. And nothing, not even death, can separate us from that love. That means your life matters. Your story matters. No matter where you are starting from today, if you're revamping your faith journey, if you came and you just are starting today, if you are a lifelong, faithful Jesus follower, wherever you are not outside the reach of God's love. Through Jesus, God does something miraculous that we cannot do for ourselves. God brings forgiveness. God brings new life. God makes a way forward when we can't see it. We see little signs of new life in things like a relationship that might begin to heal. Strength shows up when we thought we had none left. Hope returns in small ways. And these moments remind us that things are not as final as they might have first seemed. Because of Jesus, his life, his death, his resurrection, we are offered new life right here, right now, again and again. And when we begin to trust that, it can change how we live, how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive others, how we perceive the world. We act differently. We receive differently. We begin to believe that change is possible. Mary went to the tomb thinking the story was over, grieving, confused, unsure as to what would come next. When Jesus called her name, it changed everything. She could see again, not only with her eyes, but with her heart. She saw that death was not the end, that hope was not lost, and that Jesus was alive. The same good news is for us today. Easter means your story is not finished. There's more ahead, more hope, more life. If you hear nothing from what was said Easter Sunday morning except for this one thing, the good news of Jesus Christ is that you are seen, you are known, you are loved by the Creator of the universe, and the risen Christ is alive for you. This morning you stand at the open tomb, and Jesus is calling your name. Do you hear it? Amen.